Welcome to today's video. Today's question comes from Cindy. Cindy asked, what is the difference between consciousness, awareness, and the universal God? So, for the sake of today's discussion, before we actually cover what these terms are referring to, I do urge you to always discern between what you are hearing, whatever the teaching is trying to convey, rather than just take the words at their face value. What you'll notice is that in these teachings, which are very, very subtle, different teachers will use these words in different contexts in order to fulfill the needs of that particular conversation or moment. You see? So in one conversation, one person may be using the word consciousness in a very different way than they may be using it in a different conversation, or different to another person using it in a different conversation. However, the whole purpose of language is to convey an idea, a concept. And what the main important thing to understand about these teachings is that although everything we speak of is an idea, all these ideas are trying to point you to the direct recognition of yourself, of that which is conscious or aware. Now, with that being said, always use your proper discernment, judgment, rather than just getting confused in a big soup of words. So, I wish to give you this example today that will make it clearer for you. Take, for example, a room with some objects in it. When you turn the light on inside of the room, the moment the light comes on, the objects are seen. The moment you turn the lights off, the lights are off and the objects seen are also gone. Consciousness is like the light, whereas awareness is the space of the room. So consciousness is like the light, which the moment the light comes on, the objects are seen. The moment the lights are gone, the objects are no more. However, the space knows both light and darkness. The space knows both fullness and absence, fullness and emptiness. So consciousness is like the light, whereas the space of the room, in which both light and darkness appear, is awareness. To relate this to your particular experience, the moment you wake up in the morning, the light of consciousness comes on, and with it, the individual self and the world. These are the objects which we can call the universe. So the moment the light of consciousness comes on, the universe is born. The moment you go to sleep, the light of consciousness disappears, and the world and the individual self go with it. There's no sense of individuality in sleep. There's no me and world in sleep. It's just total absence. There's no consciousness. However, there's awareness of that absence. You know when you wake up that you slept. You know when you wake up that there was nothing in sleep. Sometimes you wake up and you say, oh, I didn't sleep well, because there was still consciousness and activity of consciousness. So you weren't able to sleep well. Meanwhile, where you say I slept well, that means that there was total absence of consciousness and its objects. So when you wake up, and even in the dream state, consciousness appears, and with it, the universe and the world and the individual self. When consciousness disappears, there is no individual self. There is no spiritual journeying. There is no problems. There is no world. There is no universe. There's absence, just like when you turn the lights off in a room and nothing is there. Yet, the space in which the light and its objects and even absence of objects appear is simply the space. That is awareness. So notice that at the heart of every experience is this awareness. Even when the lights come on and there are many objects, the space is just as it is. The space is like the canvas on which these objects can be. Without the space, the objects of the room cannot be. Even the absence of objects, the total absence has to be in some sort of space. Only the space allows for darkness to also be, emptiness to also be. But the space is not empty. Emptiness is an appearance in space. Emptiness is one possibility of the infinite possibility that is space. So just like that, in your direct experience, awareness is always at the heart of every experience. Even when there are objects, even when there is great activity, no matter what activity there is, still, there's awareness at the heart of every experience. And that is what the feeling I is pointing to. So notice that every morning when you wake up, already without any effort, you are conscious. Even when you had no notion of spiritual journey and spiritual path, and you were just living your life, you were conscious, right? Consciousness is there. You're not doing it. It's there. However, we are not aware that we are conscious. Notice the difference here and now. Don't look back into your life, just here and now. There's a difference between just being conscious and being aware that you are conscious. So you see the awareness which is dormant in consciousness is waking up. Beautiful, right? So when you are being present, the awareness is waking up in consciousness. The awareness which was dormant is awake in consciousness. Just think of consciousness as your capacity to perceive experience. So the moment you wake up, the experience is happening, with or without your doing of anything. And when you become present, awareness shines through in consciousness. This is the beauty of this practice. Rather than just being a slave inside of consciousness, being totally unaware of oneself, because when we're just in the conditioned way of being conscious and experiencing, it's almost like awareness is asleep. It's in a dormant state. And in that, we only experience ourselves as the body, limited to the world, slave to all the daily movements. Now, the light of awareness is shining through in the activity of consciousness. So that is the practice. Why is self-inquiry such a deeper practice? Is because you are returning to the acknowledgement of the awareness, which is always there in consciousness, and even when consciousness is not. So that is the main meditation that we talk about here on the channel. Right now, I have a free guide. It's a PDF document that you can download for free. It walks you through how to step-by-step practice self-inquiry without making mistakes, how to bring depth to your practice. So you can access that down below. I'll link it in the description and the first comment of this video, okay? And because it is subtle and you may need help, you can also join our community. Again, it's a free group with many resources that are there to help you with this practice. If you still aren't getting it and you're still struggling and you're still not able to be consistent and you need more help, then for that reason, I also have my coaching program, which is called School of Awakening, which helps you awaken to your true self, which helps you awaken this awareness in consciousness and dissolve identification with the objects of consciousness. I'll link that down below as well. It is a very, very helpful program if this is something that you really deeply care about but are having a hard time integrating into your life. Take advantage of those resources. I really hope that today's video helped you. I'll see you next time in the next video. Bye-bye.